All right. Good afternoon, everyone. Hope you're doing well on this Wednesday afternoon. We're going to do a Rashi, not from the fourth Aliyah, but I think it's from the second Aliyah, actually, the Parsha, but an interesting Rashi. Yitzchak speaking about Kohanim. So this is about Kohanim, a lot about Kohanim in these Parshios. But something very interesting is described here in Pasuk Yudalit. So just to take a step back for a second, Torah describes many cases that we learned about in the last few days, many cases of tzaras. In this particular case, a person comes with tzaras of some kind of affliction, and then Varaha Kohen, the Kohen sees this person, says Levana Baor, Yivchaser Levan, there's white, there's live flesh, and other colors. Tzaras no shenesi baor besaro v'tima kohen lo yiskerenu kitamehu. There is a certainty that it's tzaras, and therefore he doesn't have to go into isolation. He's immediately declared tameh. Now, im paruach tifracha tzaras baor v'kista tzaras is kol or hanega merashad regla v'chomer en kohen. If the tzaras spreads the entirety of the body all over, in that case, ra kohen kista tzaras kol besarov tihar es hanega kulo afach levan tahorhu. Then in that case, the Kohen declares the person to be tahor, the person to be pure. Now, uviyom heraos bo basar chai itma. But on the day when live flesh appears, then the Kohen declares him to be tameh. Without going into all the intricacies of this particular case, and as we learned earlier, basar chai is actually a sign of tzara. So without going into particulars of why, Rashi picks up on the fact that here it says, Uviyom heiraos bo basar chayitma. On the day when the live flesh appears, he's declared to be tameh. So Rashi implicitly asks the question of why it says Uviyom. On the day he sees it. Of course, it's on the day he sees it. The moment he sees it, whenever he sees it, that's when he's declared tameh. That's usually the normal way this works. Why is the yom emphasized over here? So Rashi says uviyom, ma Talmud, meaning why is the pasuk going out of its way to say yom? Yesh yom she'ata ro'eh, v'yesh yom she'ein ata ro'eh. It's coming to teach us that there are certain days when the Kohen is supposed to look, and certain days when the Kohen is not supposed to look in order to declare the person tameh. What are those days? Mikan Amru, based on this pasuk, Chazal say, Chasan nosnim la kol shiva, lo uletz deliso, luchsuso, v'chein beregel, nosnim la kol shivas yimei haregel. There are two instances where the Kohanim purposefully don't look so that they don't have to declare anybody tameh. And that is a chasan during Sheva Brachos. Nothing on his body, his clothing, his home is declared tameh. And not a chasan, but anybody who comes on aliyah l'regel is not looked at all in terms of tzaras. So a person travels all the way from wherever they are, they come into the Beis HaMikdash, first day, they're so excited, and all of a sudden they see something on their skin, and they want to bring it to a Kohen to declare whether it's tzaras or not, if they're tameh or tahor, and the Kohen says, sorry, no, can't look at it, I have to wait till after the regel. So what this implies is that there's such a power to these days of Simcha, and there's a lot of parallels between Aliyah L'Regel and Chasan. These are days of extreme, extreme joy. And obviously, if a person is declared to be Tameh before, then there's nothing you can do about it. But on those days itself, the Torah is telling us, giving us license, not for the Kohen to lie or to the Kohen to give a misdiagnosis, but for the Kohen not to look at all, not to declare at all, so that the person's simcha, the person's joy, will not be marred by the experience of either having to go into isolation or becoming tameh. It's a tremendous thing. I mean, none of us would be so chutzpahdik to say this. It seems like a ha'arama. It seems like a workaround. It seems like cheating the system. Hey, if the person's got tzaras, they have to be declared. The Kohen to say, I'm not going to look, is like cheating. It's like, burying your head in the sand. It's like trying to circumvent the system. But here the Torah is giving us license to do that. Now, how that works or why that works or why HaKadosh Baruch Hu decided it to be that way is well beyond me. I don't know. But it's clear that that is the case. Why? I have no idea. But what it teaches us is what's significant to me. And what it shows us is the importance of the joy on those days. The Torah wants to go out of its way to make sure people are happy on those days, able to celebrate fully on those days, perhaps because the experience of joy on those days is not just a momentary joy, it's a joy that's supposed to last a lifetime or a long time. In the case of Aliyah L'Regel, which is something, very much in our mind as we come to Pesach, Mirza Hashem, Mashiach should come, we should all go on Aliyah L'Regel this Pesach. But thinking about the experience of coming to be in God's house, coming to be Lifnei Hashem, before God, as the Rav explains, is the source of the highest level of Simcha. The greatest Simcha is being Lifnei Hashem. And that's not an experience you're only supposed to keep on that moment that you're in the Beis HaMikdash on the Aliyah L'Regel days, but it's supposed to stay with you till the next time you come back. It's supposed to elevate the entirety of your being. That was more important to HaKadosh Baruch Hu than the Kohen declaring him to be Tameh and missing out on that experience. Just in terms of the priorities, the values, I think it's tremendously insightful and informative in terms of what we think about various aspects of Jewish life and about the experience of joy being integral to the human being and the experience of being Lifnei Hashem being something that can continue to influence us beyond the moment. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a great day.
You too, Rabbi. Thank you, and everybody.
Beautiful.
You all have a good one.
Thank you, Rabbi. You have a good day too.
You too. Thanks.